In this video, we'll show you how the Excel solver can be used to determine a profit maximizing price for a product. Pricing is a very important topic in the business world, and a really nice book if you're interested, Power of Pricing by Robert Dolan. Or I've got one on marketing analytics, which I think is pretty good. And we want to show you a simple way using the Excel trend curve and solver that you can try and figure out if your current price for your product is too high or too low. So let's suppose you're selling, I've called this lipstick price temp, but I don't think you can buy lipstick this cheap, but whatever. Suppose it's a generic lipstick. Let's suppose it costs you 90 cents to buy at you own a drugstore. It costs you 90 cents to buy a tube of lipstick. Okay. Now what you want to do is maximize profit. That's price minus unit cost times demand. Now, why is this hard to maximize? Because if you want to charge a high price, you'll have a low demand. Charge a low price, you'll have a high demand. If you can make both price and demand big at the same time, you're fantastic. Now, why is this a nonlinear model? Even if the demand curve was a linear function of price, you'd have a price square. Okay. Now, what we want to do here is simply repeat something we did in an earlier video using the trend curve polynomial feature and fit a quadratic demand curve. So we're going to take 3 points on the demand curve, which means given for 3 prices, what is your demand? And then we'll assume that curve is valid for any price between the lowest price and highest price, and use solver to find the price that maximizes profit. So let's assume the lowest price you might charge for the lipstick is $1.50, the highest price $2.50, and then right in the middle is $2. Your sales force thinks you'll sell 60 tubes of lipstick if you charge the lowest price, 20 if you charge the highest, 51 if you charge the medium price. Let's fit a polynomial to this. We've done this before, but we can quickly do it again. Insert. Let's create a scatter plot. Right there. Now you don't want to fit a straight line to that. Okay. So it just doesn't look linear, but a quadratic can exactly fit this. Right click, add trend line, refer to our trend line curve videos, polynomial 2. Oops, I guess I didn't hit show equation. So let's just undo that. Control Z will undo that. Right click, add trend line, polynomial 2. I guess I didn't hit that display equation button. Okay, so that, let's make that a little bigger. Control 1, let's say 16. Okay, so that says demand equals minus 44 times price squared, and that'll go through our 3 points, plus 136 times price minus 45. Okay, so we can use that as our demand curve. Let's charge price at $1.50 to start. Then we can find demand and create profit, and then use solver to just change the price to maximize the profit. Okay, so the demand would equal minus 44 times price squared plus 136 times price minus 45. So we charge $2, we get a demand of 51, $2.50, a demand of 20. Now the profit is price minus unit cost times demand. That's your profit, and we want to maximize that. Now we've got to constrain the price to be between the lowest and highest price that we use, because otherwise, if we don't do that, this parabola would start sloping upward, which would mean the more you charge, the more you'd sell. So we'll put in constraints on that. So we'll go solver, maximize profit. I want to change the price, and I'll simply add a constraint that price is less than or equal to 250, and the model is nonlinear because you have a price times a price squared, in fact. Add price greater than or equal to 150. And now it's not linear. We don't need the non-negative because the price between 150 and 250. And we get a price of $2.04 would maximize our profit. So there in a nutshell, using the Excel trend curve and solver, you have a simple algorithm to come up with a product price. Now, I wouldn't exactly set the price equal to what the solver says, but if the price we get here is much lower than the price you're charging, then basically I'd lower your price a bit. And if the price we get here is much higher than the price you're charging, I would lower the price a little bit. Okay, in our next video, we'll talk about locating a warehouse.